recently announcing a significant improvement in Nigeria's debt service to revenue ratio, which has decreased from 97% to 65%. Speaking at a swearing-in ceremony of 7 newly appointed ministers, Tinubu emphasized this progress as a key indicator of Nigeria's economic recovery. He noted that a 97% debt service to revenue ratio had previously placed the country on a precarious financial edge, but the current reduction to 65% reflects a positive shift, allowing Nigeria to meet both foreign and domestic debt obligations more effectively. Tinubu expressed optimism about the nation's economic future, emphasizing the government's commitment to long-term goals for future generations. He also acknowledged ongoing economic challenges, including high cost of living, highlighted efforts to implement a new minimum wage. He urged new ministers to collaborate in tackling these urgent economic issues. And the newly appointed ministers include, all of their names were mentioned, down to the Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction Minister, Yowata, and Mohammed Maigari, the Labor and Employment, Bianca Ojukwu, State for Foreign Affairs, Jumoke Oduwole, Industry, Trade and Investment, and all of them were mentioned down to the livestock development, state for education and all that. But let's go back to the president's statement on the debt reduction and the fact that, it looks like the economy is coming to a better light. We get reports like this a lot of times, and then later on we find out that it's not equivalent to what we are seeing in the society. So Nigerians, when you tell them stories like this, the first question they ask you is, how does it affect the price of garri in the market? All right, let's bring Elerichi on this one.
Okay. First of all, let me acknowledge let me thank the president for acknowledging the fact that there's an economic hardship during his speech. You see, most times we have heard some of these things, both in the previous government, both in this recent government, where they come out and tell us that things are getting better, things are improving, but at the end of the day, you see that it is just all are just fallacy. You understand? So,
but he's giving us facts. You know, when these comments are made or when these statements are made, you're backing it up with facts. They're showing you the figures and everything, and you're seeing it that there have actually been a reduction.
Any fact that doesn't affect the well-being of the citizenry, of the common man, I don't think that fact is...
the fact is not factual.
It's not factual. You see, there's been increase in high cost of things, both production, both in the market, every now and then. So for me, I don't think this fact is really factual, like I said. So until it affects the life of the common man, that is when I will start to believe all these statistics are being real out.
All right, but do you believe that steps are being taken to, make us come out of the hardship that we have said that Nigerians are in?
For now, I've not seen any positive steps. I've not seen any positive steps that have been taken to get us out of this economic downturn.
All right. Kenneth, your 2 cents.
Yeah. Yes, I'm also in line with what is happening, because if the common man cannot feel the improvements in the economy,
we can barely hear you, Kenneth.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Better.
Can you hear me?
Better. Go on.
Okay, so what things that I'm saying, if the common man on the streets doesn't feel the impact of this reduction in debt service ratio, that means we are still where we are. So what I'm saying is that it's a good step in the right direction, with the fact, and I think some persons like Atiku came to even negate this fact. He was saying during his time, we did not do that, But we saw the prices of things during Atiku's regime with the Obasanjo and Yaradua and other persons, where we have then a liter of petrol being sold for 1.5. Garri was about 40,000, 30,000, 50,000, but now it's 90,000, it's 80,000. So rice, the same thing, rice I'm saying, rice 90,000, 80,000, some has even gotten to 100,000. So when these prices of things in the market is being affected, then we can now say, okay, yeah, these things are, but it's a good one. Since they're no longer servicing debt with a huge amount of money, it's actually cool. So we are saying that the fuel subsidy, the thing is making an impact. Is what they are saying. So for this thing to be factual, I think like they should be given an update. The money being gotten from the fuel subsidy and all that we are, where it's going into, how it's making an impact. We want to see traceability, transparency, accountability. That is when the citizens can believe in these things. But if we don't see all these things, we just hope at the end that, okay, if the prices of things doesn't go down in the market, then we are still where we are as a people.
But you agree that this doesn't just happen overnight? These are things that take time, yes.
Sure, yeah, it's a good one. So that is what we are waiting. It's commendable. The president is sounding his trumpet, is blowing that, yeah, but we want to feel the impact of that on the lives of the people. Yes, because if we are still hungry, we cannot rejoice with him. He might be the only one rejoicing in this.
He might be the only one rejoicing. Not really. People who really understand what it means. Looking at the difference in the percentage, you find out that this is a large reduction.
I'm talking about the common man on the streets. If you check just the people that understand these things, there might be people that are comfortable. We are talking about, if the government is for the people and by the people, there are the people on the street that should be the checks and balancing of these things. You should use them as a yardstick to know if you're actually headed somewhere. A bag of rice cannot be 100,000. You are telling me the economy is good, that we are getting there. A pint of garri cannot be 2,500. I am telling you, pepper cannot be sold for 500. So these are the things we check. The dollar rate and the naira rate, you see, they are still the gap. So we check these things. We don't check people that understand, people that went to school, the intellectuals, the rich. No, we're not looking at those. We're looking at the common man on the street that cannot really, a dollar. Look at the minimum wage. Look at all that. Okay, let's not go there anyway. But we are saying it is a good step in the right direction. It should keep it up. It should continue. But we want to feel this thing in the lives of the common man on the street. That is when we can actually all rejoice. Because if one person rejoices and many are not rejoicing, then we haven't won yet.
All right. When we look at the fact that we have to give it time before we start seeing the results, we'll also look at some things that might get to halt the process, or some things that might slow it down. And that's when we talk about things like the fact that we're still taking loans. We're not done taking loans as a nation. And I've asked this question before. Can a nation thrive without really taking loans? Can we just get to that point where we just focus on what we have in our nation? Focus on our production, making it better and things like that. But time and time again, I've gotten the same answer. But I would ask my guests in the studio that particular question, what you think about the fact that we're still taking loans, even though this looks like, a step that looks like it's in the right direction, but we're still taking loans. But is it out of place for a nation to take loans?
Okay, for me, I don't think it is out of place for a nation to take loans.
So what is the issue?
Okay, the issue is, I think, issue of accountability and making judicious use
of the
loans. You see, there have been time and time where we take loans, and at the end of the day, we don't know where those loans go into. Maybe they take loan to construct maybe rail. At the end of the day, we can't see it being effectively used to construct that rail. We take loan for construction of maybe roads. At the end of the day, you see those roads are not being constructed; they are abandoned. And the worst of it all is that the government have not really gone after these persons to open a proper probe in making sure that they find out how these monies that were borrowed, how they were use.
But the House of Representatives did that recently. They're in it currently, and they want to start the probe from 1999 to check our debt servicing, how far we've gone with that. And then same Nigerians were saying it's too late, and that's not what we need right now. Let's focus on the real problem of the country.
Now, the House of Reps that are opening the probe, are they innocent of this?
Big question.
And that's a very big question. Are they innocent of this? These are persons that have been, some of them are former, maybe council chairman, former this, former that, former this, former that. So at the end of the day, all of them are just on one page. So for me, I think taking loan is not out of place.
Correct.
But I really think that how they spent these loans
is what matters.
What
Kenneth.
Matters.
Yeah, we just need to balance it. If taking a loan is not making us to see what we actually have, I think sometimes we just need to hold on and let us not be too quick to take loans. And taking loan is not really bad. It's not a very bad idea. But let's see the consequences of this. It has been telling so much on our economy. Nigeria is not a production country. We don't produce anything. We consume. So why is that so? Because we easily get loan whenever we want to take it. It's there. The IMF is always there to give us this loan. So we really need to start looking inwards. There are a lot of things that we have. We have all the mineral resources. We have everything that we need as a country to survive. If you look at this oil palm, the Malaysian oil palm seedlings, it was in Nigeria here that it was taken. You know, before it was red oil that we were exporting in the 1950s and 1960s, before crude oil now came aboard and all that. Now look at the oil palm. We are now importing oil palm in our country. Is it not a shame? So there are some things that we cannot be talking about loans where people are talking about how we can export, how we can produce. Let's look inwards. To me, if I'm being told, I will say, let's just halt these incessant loans taking and let's look inwards and see what we can do as a nation. Let's see what we can do. Some people see.
Have we not been looking inward? Does it mean we've not been looking inward to see what we can do as a nation when we have ministers that are in charge of the different sectors in the country?
The ratio of reduction in the state, the ratio of looking inwards, and the level of how we get these loans are not really tallying. They don't equate each other. It should be 7/3, or how is it called? The proportion should be higher. We should look more than getting loans. But if you check the loans that we are got, we're even servicing the loan, which means before we can even get out of those loan servicing, might even take us a very long while. It will not be our children coming to inherit these things. Why can't we just halt it for now? Take the book that we have. Like what this fuel subsidy is doing now, you see, they're no longer giving fuel subsidy as being removed from the ordinary citizens. They are telling them to hold on, to endure, right? So that the money that has been removed can be used and be put in an efficient means so that they can enjoy the future. Was it not what they told us?
It looks like you're saying, Kenneth, it looks like you're saying put a stop to loans for now and let's focus on servicing our debt. We just need to get it right. Is that your thought? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not even talking about servicing the debt anymore.
Okay.
I'm talking about producing something from the country that we can export, that can increase our efforts. We are not producing anything. We are not doing anything. We are not exporting so much in this country. There are some states that have never exported at all, and they have all the mineral resources. So why taking this loan where we cannot even produce anything? So which means we are depending on the loan. That is why we are not producing. Since let's just put a halt on this thing and say, okay, for some time we are not going to get any loan. Let's see how much we can do inwards. So that is what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you so much for your thought. But you said earlier that there's really nothing wrong in taking loans. It's just the utilization of these loans. Kenneth is saying for now, no more loans. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't totally agree with him.
Tell us why.
Because I think that if there's any country that doesn't take loan, you understand. So taking loan is not the issue, but the issue is the loan we are taking. What are we using it for? And I don't know if you get me. What are we using the loan for? You see, like he rightly said, Nigeria is not exporting anything as of now that is well known. We are not producing anything. I think if we can take loan to maybe build the industries and maybe maybe improve on our
production and manufacturing,
fine, it will be better. Especially our refinery. If we can get loan and make sure that this refinery gets working.
But we have been investing in the refinery all this while. Do we keep investing in the same refinery we have been investing in?
Like I said earlier, that is where the problem is, in the expenditure. That is where the problem lies. If we can get loans and make sure that the loan we get is being utilized for the reason why it is.
So what happens to the other ones that we have been taking that were not properly utilized? Do we just take our eyes off that and this time, continue taking more while we're servicing the old ones? That's what we're saying.
No, I think the government need to do more.
Oh, you're about to change your mind now?
No, I'm not changing my mind.
Oh, okay.
I'm not changing my mind.
Okay.
The one that have already been collected that was not really utilized. I think the government really have to come up and make sure that those loans that were collected that were not really utilized, they need to make sure that those persons involved need to be brought to book.
Oh, all right. I held accountable. Yes. Okay. Yes.